Today I'm going to talk to you about something that I think is pretty cool. If you have listened to any amount of Tony Robbins, who I've been a big fan of over the years, one of the quotes that he has really made famous is this one right here. So I'm going to share this with you so that you don't have to feel like you have to write it all down as I'm saying it, but it says it's not what's happening to you now or what's happened to you in the past that determines who you become. Rather, it's your decisions about what to focus on, what things mean to you, and what you're going to do about them that will determine your ultimate destiny. Now, there is a key word in there that I want you to notice, and the key word is decisions. Decisions. So the thing that I've come to know, you guys, is that the greatest skill you can develop as a human being is the ability to make the right decisions. In fact, I've often told many of you that if you're going to have a great life, you've got to first master your bod, which is your physical health, right? And then you've also got to master the mod. And mod stands for the moment of decision. The moment of decision. Now, the tool that I've created for you on this is very simple, and yet it has a shelf life. And the reason that it has a shelf life is because it comes from radio terminology. And so many of you, like me, grew up and probably had a radio that looked like this, right? And on here, it had two separate radio channels, not stations, but channels. There was AM and FM, okay? Now, the reason that this won't work forever is that the next generation of people will be like, well, what's a radio? Like, that's kind of cute. Like, does it like play podcasts? And it's like, no, that's not exactly what it is. But it's got AM and FM. And so the thing about making the right decision in the moment is that it boils down to which channel are you listening to? And listen to what I'm about to say, part of self-mastery, an integral part of self-mastery is knowing which channel to listen to, okay? So I'm going to show this to you and how this ultimately works. Now, there are times that, let me back up. So AM, which is one channel, FM is the other. AM stands for the already me today, as it exists in this exact moment, the present me. FM stands for the future me, which is the me of tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, whatever. So when we're talking about these channels, I want you to understand there is the already me today, and then the future me, which is later today, tomorrow, down the road, whenever. And so what I want you to get really good at is knowing which channel to listen to. And I'm going to give you some examples here. So, there was, when I came back from family reunion, which was, I came back on Monday, and the thought on my mind was that I needed to get right back into work. I had all these things that needed to be done. And yet I hadn't seen my family for like 4 days. And I'm sitting around the dinner table, and my oldest daughter likes to play this game. And the game is 20 questions. So how it works is she will pick a topic like animals, then she'll think of an animal. And we all have 20 questions around the table in order to guess what it is that she's thinking about. And so we're all going around and everybody is engaged in this, right? Like my wife's playing, my youngest daughter's always playing, and you can just kind of feel like that deep-seated connectedness. But I'm sitting there thinking about all the things that I need to do. I'm thinking about the emails I haven't responded to, the projects that need my attention. And it kind of hit me that I had these two channels that were in conflict with each other. See, that's the problem that you run into, is that the already me and the future me, at times, those parts of you, they get into conflict. It creates friction. It's inner civil war. And knowing which channel to listen to when makes your life so much more calm, focused, and energetic. And so in that moment, what I realized was this: I'm witnessing magic here. This is a moment that I need to listen to the already me. I need to sit here and soak this in, and that everything else can just wait. Now, one really key point that many of you have heard me say before, or maybe it's new to you, but as you grow in business and in life, you have no choice but to disappoint people. You will disappoint people. The question is, are you disappointing the right people? So make sure that you're listening to what I'm saying here, that you will disappoint people. Are you disappointing the right people? But here's the already me question that I didn't develop. I ripped this off. It came from the book Tribe of Mentors with Tim Ferriss. And yet the question was, if I were on my deathbed and I mean, it's over, the curtain's getting ready to come down, right? Like your life is done as you physically know it. How much would I pay to go back and relive the exact experience that I'm having right now? So if my life were over, I'm on my deathbed, it's over, right? And I was given the opportunity to go back to the experience I'm having right now, how much would I give? And you all know the answer, that if you're sitting around the dinner table playing 20 questions with a 6 and an 8-year-old and your spouse, you give it all, right? If you had $10 million, you give it all to go back to that moment. So the question becomes, are you treating it like a $10 million moment? And see, when I think through that process, the already me channel wins. And I know I need to be present and put the rest of that stuff aside, and I will work through it when the time is right. See, that's a moment where I need to tune into the already me. Now, the future me. So sometimes, I don't know about all of you, but I have kind of two great loves in my life, and it's called pizza and ice cream. Like, I like pizza and I like ice cream, but I don't know about you. I have never woken up the next day and thought, I'm so glad I ate that extra slice. I'm so glad I had that extra bowl of ice cream last night. I have never woken up with that thought. Never. Jenny did today, but Jenny's kind of an anomaly around these things. And so that's where you want to start listening to the future me. See, when you're tempted, when something shows up in your world that feels good now, but won't later, that's when you want to listen to the future me. So you play that tape forward, right? So like when I know that I shouldn't eat the pizza, I fast forward to, what will I feel in the morning when I'm getting ready and I'm having conversation with my mind or with myself in the mirror, right? Am I going to feel good about this decision? No, I won't. And so that's a moment where you want to rely on the future me. And so what it does is this all slows this process down so that you can master the mod, master the moment of decision. And all you're doing is analyzing it through two channels. Is this the already me or the future me? And if you will do this, what happens is you create one of the greatest skills of life, which is you know the difference between reaction and response. Do you know what the difference between reaction and response is? One word: choice. Choice. Reaction is just what you do. Response is an engineered, tailored approach. So here's what I want you to get, right? Is that your ultimate destination, where you end up in your life, is going to be how you make decisions in the moment. You've got to master the mod. In order to master the mod, slow the process down and ask yourself this question: which channel should I be tuned into? The already me? Do I need to soak this up? Do I need to be present? Or the future me? Is this a decision that the future me will be thankful for? Or is this a decision that the future me will hate me for? And I found that tool of just AM, FM to be very, very like powerful this year to make decisions and keep moving forward. And it's particularly the thing that it helps me avoid is regret. And I hope that it will help you avoid the same thing.